Welcome to Let's Talk About It. A podcast gets a platform for real talk, real people, real topics, real conversations. Enjoy the show and enjoy this journey.
You was on a very established program. You got to travel for the first time. So like in the short version with the Evo Shield Canes, like how was that experience for you to really branch out on your own? You was like 16 and 17.
Well, that was coming directly off area code, so like I loved Evo Shield. That was my favorite. That was my favorite team I ever played for. Like, it was the only team I've ever gelled with because I forgot to say this, but Tri-State Arsenal and South Jersey Young Guns, Monmouth Militia. I gelled with them a little bit. All the little in between side hustle teams that I would just throw a jersey on and play for, like
A lot of them.
a lot of them. I don't even remember the fucking names for half of them. The Bulldogs, Elites, whatever.
Mudcats, yeah.
Mudcats,
Yeah.
all that stuff. Well, I actually, I really like the Mudcats, so I won't say that. But anyway, Evo Shield Canes was the number one team that I've ever played for because in my Tri-State Arsenal and South Jersey Young Guns, like I would go in the hotel, I would stay with the hotel with you.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want to hang out with the kids, and that was really showed me who I was. Like, why do I want to hang out with these guys? And then Evo Shield Canes, I was like, I just want to hang out with these guys all the time. And I'm like, I want to go out for a month and just be with these people and
You was on your own.
them.
You was on your own.
That was the best part. That was the best part of my career because it taught me how to be independent and taught me that I could be independent by myself, how I could have fun and play at the same time. I actually did really well during that month. Like, I did not do bad. Like, I did really good because I was free. I didn't really think too much. We were all in each other's corner. And I remember I went to Florida recently. That was the first time I had pinchers, which was a chain back then. First starting out, which is kind of weird. Like I went to the chain when it first started out. Now they're like all over the fucking place in South Florida. And I had the pincher claws, and I had it with my boy Sammy, and we just so many memories, man. I love the Evo Shield Canes.
So you had a good journey on that one. Before we get to your college years, and everything that happened, one thing that happened to you in high school, like you made a decision when you committed to Campbell University. In my opinion, I wish we would saw more schools. Got rushed into it.
I'm fucked up so bad.
I think I should have made sure that he saw more schools than this. Got caught up in the hype because back then everybody was committing and all this and couldn't wait to post on social media and all that shit. And I know I fell into that fucking trap too. You committed to Campbell University in Bowie's Creek, North Carolina. We'll get to it when we get to it. But then, you're about to go into your senior year, and I get a phone call saying, you had a little accident. So, and this is the time where you was being highly recruited by Major League Baseball, Texas Rangers, various teams, certain top 10 round draft pick. So you want to dive into what happened to you right in your senior year?
It really gets hard to talk about because I hate talking about it. But,
Okay. Well, you don't have to. I mean, we can go past it.
Well, no, it's important. I say after the Evo Shield Cane season, when I threw 97, I was just like all my pitches were just on. I came off of a really good winter workout. I would just I was just honed up. Like that was the best I've ever felt since my junior year in college. Like that was the only time I ever felt like honed up, ready to attack, and just ready to go onto the season 100 miles an hour. And it takes we skipped Jupiter because we thought that Jupiter was too much. That was like this big tournament back then with like hundreds and hundreds of scouts, and we're just like, you know what? I think it would. I don't think we should chance it. I think we should just like keep your draft stock the way it is right now, rather than hurting it, potentially hurting it or something like that. Like my arm was sore back then too.
Yeah.
It's just like there's just no reason to go out there and fucking put your arm at risk for a game. So I wind up agreeing. I wind up agreeing with it, not because we couldn't do it, just because like
You
even
saw.
even Adam, with the agent we had
Yeah.
back then, or the advisor we had back then, was
Yeah.
saying it's just like there's just no point. Then I met with Ryan. Ryan was training me up for the upcoming season, and it was just basically like all you have to do is just pad your stats. Like, and you control where you fall in the draft. You can go top 3 or you can go top 10. Like that's just how you are. Like you have a blowout season, show up, throw freaking pop a 99 or 100. Like sky's the limit. And then I went into after a good winter workout showcase in the Texas Rangers. After the good winter workout showcase of the Texas Rangers, I was like up to 97, 98, and slider was filthy. Changeup was really good. Everybody was all eyes on me, and I remember we went to Applebee's afterwards. Remember that, and then after that we went home, and literally the day after, I had the Padres showcase in Chicago. I had the Padres showcase in Chicago, and I played basketball, and I fell and I hurt my arm, and I wound up costing myself, I'd say millions. At the trajectory that I was going, I cost myself like millions of dollars, and I to this day, like I've never went into depth on it that bad, but really talking about it really hurt. Like again, like because I like in that moment, crying, just like what the fuck did I do? Am I gonna make it? Is my arm gonna be okay? My miles per hour dropped. The rehab sucked. All my draft stock went down the shitter. Like everything. I went to the Padres showcase. I showed like I know why I did that because we had a free Chicago ticket. I went with my mom, and we went up to the Padres showcase, introduced myself to certain people, and I shouldn't have did that because I think that's the one that just officially plummeted it. And I went through rehab throughout the whole entire school season. Wound up saying fucking and graduating early. Said peace to my friends and just got ready to go to Campbell. That was a hard. That was the hardest time in my life. That was easily the hardest time in my life. Watching Blake get drafted, watching all my friends get drafted. Like Jay Groom, he was like, I think he was in the draft class before me, but I'm just like, dude, like I'm gonna be like him, if not better. Like my slider was peak form, my changeup peak form, fastball on the rise. Like it was just only getting hotter, and we were gonna go outside, and
Well,
I don't want to talk about it anymore. That's really deep.
I got you. So you missed your senior year, but you still had your scholarship at Campbell. They didn't give up on you. Unfortunately, you didn't get drafted because you broke your throwing arm, but you got better. And right, we're gonna get into Campbell University. We'll get into that right quick. Tell you about your experience at Campbell because it was
There's a lot of ups and downs.
yeah, quick version.
Uh, during the summer, it was a really good introduction. I'm just glad they held their promise that like they would keep me because everybody was like, dude, there's no way we're gonna lose you to the draft. There's no way. Everybody was like sweating over here. I'm just like, and they thought I was gonna be the draft guy and didn't really pay any mind to it. And went to Campbell, had a really good summer workout with the guys. Wound up hanging out with them for like I think like a month before school started. It was really fun. Got to see Bowie's Creek. And then when fall started was when the reality set in. That was when I really realized like I should have looked at more schools. I was looked at my Miami. I think LSU was in there in the ring somewhere. Like if I just waited more and just visited more schools and know what I know now, I could have made it anywhere. Like I would have picked Florida 100 times out of 10. I would have picked like I would have went to ASU. I would have went to Cal Berkeley. I would have went to UCLA. Like there's just so many different schools that I could have went for. University of San Diego is my dream school. Like that was like I'm like why the fuck did I like try to go there? But that's beside the point. If anybody like gets advice from this, just like dude, just fucking wait. Like visit as much school, give yourself as much options as possible. Like if they try to like give you a 2 week countdown, guess what, dude? If you throw 99 miles an hour and your stuff is good and everybody wants you in the country, that offer will stay up in the air for a long time, longer than you might think. And I just wish I knew that because that's beside the point. Campbell was really good. I just didn't really like how they treated their players. I didn't really like. I hated the workouts. I thought it was ass backwards. I thought like we kind of overworked our muscles. Even though we had a successful team, it was very senior heavy. And with senior heavy teams, you tend to have a lot more success because people know the protocol. They know what to do. They're good leadership. So I don't really account it on talent because none of the freshmen played. So that's a big thing. So it was a very older team. Really good coaching staff, just horrible in terms of workout routine. Like we had 3 injuries like in the first fucking like and like before the season even started. Like I'm like I can't do this. This is just bad. This is bad for my body. So me and the coaches just didn't agree. Ultimately, I was a freshman starter, and I had a decent career there. I could have probably did a little bit better, but I was just in my head a little bit. Then I went to Cape Cod after that and had a little bit of a. That's another part of the journey.
Well,
Journey's pretty long.
he had a good freshman year, ladies and gentlemen. Freshman Player of the Week. He pitched on national television and for the Big South semifinal game. They trusted to a freshman to get to the championship game. Single elimination. They could have went with their number one guy. They wanted to save him, but they had faith in this young man to get him there on national TV. Get him to the Big South Championship, which they won. So he's being a little modest right now, but he did. He did win the Big South Championship. I know you went to Cape Cod, right?
I forgot I won that actually.
Yeah. I mean, you went there, but let's get to because you had to transfer. You wanted to transfer.
Yeah.
I think probably all the freshman class transferred.
And around like 90% besides Tyler Babin.
Yeah, he stayed. I know Jermaine left, but you transferred to Central Arizona.
Central Arizona College. Yep. I transferred there because it was a toss-up between South Central Florida, which where the Twins were going, and Central Arizona College. And my dad, he convinced me to just like go entertain all my options. And I wound up going there and, seeing what Arizona was all about, wind up liking the intensity of it because back then I was pretty intense. And I wanted to be in an intense environment that would really make me better.
That shocked us because you was adamant about going to Florida.
I think Florida's prettier. There's a lot more to do in Florida. There was not much to do in Casa Grande, but I'm just like, there's just no distractions. It's just all about being good. And even before that, I'll just touch on it a little bit. I went to Cape Cod. I had to beg and plead for a freaking 10-day contract. And this is like kind of the mental state that I was in. Like after coming off of a peak season, after my injury, I wasn't really up to 98. So I had to really work with my body to get myself to throw 94. I went there and I just didn't throw strikes and I got cut pretty early. I learned a lot of great lessons there. I love Cape Cod. I love the people there. They're really good people. Beautiful environment, highly competitive. The most competitive baseball I've ever seen in my life, even including professional baseball. Guys just want to win there, and it's next level. If you guys get invited to it, definitely do it. Just don't mess up because they will cut you. They don't care if you have a permanent contract or not. They will cut you very easily, and they will bring someone in on a flight. That being said, when I went to Central Arizona College, I think I went there early. I went there a little early. I vibed with my 2 roommates, Noah Hodges and Zane Strand, and that's when I first started to cook. actually. When I first started to like be on my own and actually test myself, I made like fresh pasta, but for like my first time making fresh pasta, first time making wings, first time making ribs, just like first time like cooking on my own. And I did really good. I did really good in the fall. Like I was like one of the highlight players. They were like setting me up to be the not the number one, but like probably like one of the starters. And like I was really crucial to me that I was a starter, because it's weird. Like back in the day, like I would want to be a starter so bad, and I just like I had this fixation that I was like, if I wasn't a starter, I wasn't good. When reality is, dude, like best players play. You should just like that Central Arizona team was the best team I've ever played on in college.
Okay.
That like they could mop the floor with anybody. They were just that freaking good. Long story short, I went having a really breakout fall. The training was super intense. It was the most intense. It was more intense than Campbell, but I realized it was JUCO, so I'm like I kind of knew this was it. We did mountain runs once a week. I though that was horrible. You would commonly see people throwing up, and commonly see people like you just give up halfway and get cut on that same day. Like it was Central Arizona is no joke. When you're in the middle of the desert and you're very thirsty and when you're running on a track or up a mountain and you see the crows like calling at you and shit like that. That is an environment that creates champions. I love that. I love that environment. Then I went. I don't think I went home on break.
No,
I think I stayed.
you actually stayed, right? Because I know you, and then you got your opportunity. You got your scholarship at Seattle University.
Yep. An important part happened before that, though. I'll make it quick.
Go ahead.
I was a starter. I was a starter at Central Arizona, and then they chose a freshman over me as a starter. They're like, hey, like we want Leo Palacios out, and me and Leo are really like I really like Leo now, but back then I like kind of like envied him. I'm just like, why the fuck is he a starter, dude? Like I'm like had the best stats. Like I would strike out everybody, our best players, and then I just wasn't ready for the season. Like I was mentally in it, and then all of a sudden I took myself out. And he's like, dude, like we're gonna use you all the time this season. We need you to be ready. And I'm just like, okay. Then when my first curtain call came, it was like super easy, 9-1 lead. And all of a sudden, I had the yips. The yips is just like you just can't find the strike zone for like I would throw strikes all day in the bullpen. I'm like I'm gonna throw strikes up here, and then all of a sudden, ball four, ball four, ball four, ball four. Got yanked out early, and they're just like, oh, we'll just like maybe it's just like I don't know, maybe it's just in his head or something like that. Then they put me in the next game, ball four, ball four, ball four, ball four, four base on balls, four in a row. Went through the whole season, struggled, worked out. I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? Is it me? Like, is it me? Is it me? Is it me? I'm just like, it is me. Like, it's my mentality. Like, as soon as I knew that I wasn't a starter, it changed. It changed me. And then after that, I came to terms with it, and I like broke down, cried in the shed in the back because I finally got my chance to start, and I fucked up.
Didn't know that either.
With my
all this stuff I know.
with my best friend Nate, my friend at the time, Nate. He was a catcher, and he was just like, dude, just throw strikes. You're killing it in the bullpens with like you throw hard, whatever, just fucking throw it. Wind up throwing like 94 in the bullpen. The next thing I know, I come out, I throw 85, and it's just like, what the fuck?
It was all in your head.
It was all in my head, and then all of a sudden I got yanked out. I threw my glove, punched the freaking shed. I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with me, dude? Like my baseball career is done. I'm in the middle of the desert. What the fuck am I doing? I'm about to go D3. What's going on? And then all of a sudden, I just sparked. A couple weeks later, I finally get a chance to go, and I just wind up throwing hard as hell out of nowhere. It's just like, what the fuck? Brandon's throwing really hard lately. And then I wind up going in the game, just a little one-off game, worst team in the league. He's just like, let's just let Brandon throw one day. And wind up pitching, and I threw like 90, 98 for the first time in a while. Like for the first time in a very long time, I was like, "What the fuck happened?" It's because I didn't care anymore. I didn't care. I just wanted to throw, and I threw really hard on everything. And then Seattle picked me up. They saw me one game, and they were just like, "Dude, like we can make this guy our closer." And that's how it was. It just clicked one day. Just like I just don't need to be this guy. I don't need to be the guy. I just need to believe in myself.
So you went to Seattle. You was a closer there. You were starting off hot. Then
Oh, for fuck's sake,
COVID happens.
nonstop.
COVID happens, and then you was on path of getting drafted again that year. But unfortunately, with COVID, they shortened the rounds down to 5 rounds.
Yeah, nobody's picking a closer in top five. So
And it seemed like you was going to be on point, and no. So then you had to sign a free agent deal with Chicago White Sox.
I know I get fucking long winded with this shit, but I gotta go into that a little bit too, because I like work my ass off to get really good in Seattle. Like I was so confident,
Killing it.
I was so confident coming out of Central Arizona. That was the most confident I've ever been in my life. Like I'm like, dude, I'm gonna be the coach. I'm gonna be the captain of this team. Like I'm gonna run this team through the ringer. Like this team needs a just a bulldog. And then I met my roommate Alex McBee, and he had the same personality as me. He's just like, dude, let's just do it. Let's go. Let's lead the team. And I'm just like, yeah, this is the place I need to be. I love this city. I love the people. Now I just need to just keep on going, and I built rapport with the team. I met really good people named Mason Hoover, Max Cuenca, Kodama. I call him Juju. Just a really good team, and I was killing it in the fall. I was up to throwing really good numbers. Like I was the first closer in a long time that started out with a couple saves and a win. So I was like, damn, I got scouts meeting me at coffee shops on a daily basis, like Cardinals, Texas Rangers, Phillies, like everybody was trying to figure out who this new closer was. I'm just like, damn, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it again. All I gotta do is just keep doing what I'm doing. Keep my routine, just routine, and then it's bad luck. I don't get it. I didn't get it. It all started from an injury in senior year that I got. I'm over it. It hurts when I bring it up, but I'm over it. That COVID thing really hurt me. I don't really think I'm fully over it yet. Cause that was a huge blow. That was a huge, huge blow, and it led me to devalue myself. I was gonna be one of the only closers to be top 5, and then it turned a 40-round draft to a 2-round draft because only the supplementals in the top 2 rounds were ever gonna get money because they didn't pay season, so they didn't have enough money to generate anything. So, long story short, I got what I got and a little plane ticket and. The rest is history. That was really tough. That was really, really tough.
But everybody was proud of you. You got to sign with the Chicago White Sox. We was all happy for you. It was a crazy time in your life, and I understand that summer, you guys didn't do anything. So then you came around. You had to wait a year, basically. Then you came back around, you're doing spring training. Now, at the time you're doing spring training, you actually meet someone in your life.
Yeah, I met my wife. I met my wife on the 3rd day of spring training, April 1st.
How'd you meet her?
On Hinge, actually. We went on a dating app.
Dating app?
Yeah, we met on a dating app. It was called Hinge. And
wait, y'all met on a dating app? Oh my God. That she didn't tell me.
We met on a dating app.
So she lied about it.
We matched, and I didn't think it was going to go through at all. And I was just so focused on spring training that I wasn't really paying attention to it. And yeah, it's Juji. And basically, I messaged her. I messaged her like a picture of my pot, like this is what I can do for you, whatever, all the dating app stuff. And then she messaged me, and then she was very like much pursuing me because I wasn't really a person that pursued people. Like I struggled with that, and she would just pursue me. She knew what she wanted, and then all of a sudden, like 3 days, like 2 days later, we were hanging out. It was electric. I cooked for her the first day. That was awesome. And then all of a sudden, we were hanging out on my first Easter. Like we were like our first Easter together. It was awesome. We met a guy named David, and he's still our good friend. He came to my wedding. It was crazy. Like it was just so weird. Like the first like our second date, we met a random dude at the pool that offered us fish, offered like he was grilling shit on the outside, like we were doing filming TikToks and shit. Like it was just very wild and organic and just very like out of this world. And then 2 years later, he's at our wedding, and now like he's just like, oh, we're shouting out David in the middle of our wedding. I still have it on video. It was really funny. It's crazy. He was there. He was literally there from the beginning. I thought it was really special. Met her mom that first month. Met her brother that first month, and then I got promoted to low A by the end of the month.
Yeah, right. So
Well.
you went to Kannapolis, North Carolina, to play for the Kannapolis.
Never even heard of that town before, too.
Was it Kannapolis
Cannonball.
Cannonballers?
Beautiful stadium.
Yeah, I mean, like right. So you went to your spring training. You're finally there. Now you're playing minor league baseball. So you head off to North Carolina. How was that experience?
I loved it. I thought I was the shit. I thought I was I made it. A mixed bag. I think looking back at it now, it was a mixed bag. But I felt bad. I felt really sad leaving her, but I also was really excited to start my career because I knew it was promising. I knew what I had. I knew that I was one of the better ones. And then I wound up doing really good. The first 3 months, I was like lights out. Like I was just 0 ERA, most strikeouts on the team, lowest ERA, lowest opposing batting average. Like my stuff worked. Up here, I lost it. I lost it fairly quickly. I'm not sure how, but like if I
Really?
kept this in it, if I kept my mental in it for a long time, I would have went to the major leagues. The one, and I know why it left. I know why it left.
Where I live.
Because I was so focused on the money. I was so focused on the money I lost. This might be a shock. I was so focused on the money I lost, and I just couldn't get it out of my head. Like I could have made so much money doing this sport. Like I could have had so much cushion. Like I could have gave back to my parents. I could have did this. I could have did that. Like it's bullshit. Like it's awful. And then I saw people getting promoted over me, and I'm just like, dude, like I'm 0 year late. I'm like player of the month every fucking month. Like why am I not in discussion? They're like, you need to throw more strikes. I'm like, dude, I have a 0 ERA. Like, fuck off. Like, I don't need to throw more strikes. Like, I have the best slider in the league. Like, I got the best changeup in the league. All my stuff is great. Like, what do I need? Like, my confidence is there. And then I realized that creeper of doubt started getting in my head. Why? Like, something's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen. And I manifested that into reality. Had my first walk. I walked in my first run. Then all went downhill. Gave up my first home run, gave up my first hit, gave up this, gave up that. I'm just like, dude, I'm fucking up my own season. Like, what is going on? And I realized it was all about the money and the money that I lost. And the only reason why I played was for the money. I'm like, why? Like, I'm like,
Not the love. It was about the money.
I think I lost the love when I got screwed twice. And I realized my love wasn't that strong. And I love the game, but I think I was playing it for the childhood me. I think I was playing it for the childhood me, and I just didn't love it as much as I thought I did. Like I did, like I thought, it's really weird talking about it now. Like when I let go of it when I was with the Rockies, I cried. I cried really bad in front of a coach I barely even knew, and he like patted me on the back, gave me a hug, and said, "Dude, it's gonna be okay, man." Like. He's like, everybody goes through this. Like, everybody. And I was just like, dude, like, it's not that like I can't do it. Like you guys have seen my pitches. Like I can do it. He's like, yeah, we know you can. That's why we want you here. Is like this. You're leaving because of you. Like we're here to develop you. I'm like, I get that, but I'm just not in it, man. Like this is. I'm so mad about the money that I lost. I'm not mad about the opportunity that I lost, and that's where the major discrepancy and the difference was. I'm like, why? Like I played for this moment where I got the glimpses and the glory and the playing under the lights and having my name being on the board. Brandon Jenkins, he's coming out to pitch. I got that moment. I didn't want a major league moment, and I think the kid me wanted me to keep going. And once the adult me was just on so many different paths. Like I wanted to be with her. I wanted to be I wanted to travel more. Like I wanted to do more things. I didn't want to wait 5 more years to start my chef career. Like I'm just like, dude, like
So you want
I wanted to move on.
So that was it for you when you started to have that slippery slide. You're like, okay, like, you know, I met my at the time future wife. You wanted to cook more, and that was so. What was that defining moment when you said like, you know, after the White Sox stint and after the Rockies stint, what was that defining moment when you said this is it?
When I stopped working out.
When you stopped working out, that was it.
That was it. I was so motivated, and I stopped. I couldn't even tell you when it happened. I just stopped. I just stopped working out, stopped doing my bands, came in, thought I was enough, just trying to get by, to figure it out in my head.
Really?
I just stopped working out. I didn't. I remember the day I went before I got traded to the Rockies, or got cut and then sent to the Rockies. It was crazy. Fucking what was his name? Joe. Something Joe. He was my advisor at the time. He was got me into the Rockies. He was just like, dude, like, what happened? And he's like, dude, I haven't trained anymore. I don't train anymore. He's like, what's wrong? He's like, I need you to perform. I'm like, I get it, but just not in it, man. I'm just not. He's like, just give it a try, give it a try. I'm like, okay, like you got it. I'm like, I don't. And I wish that I didn't love food as much as I did, because if I didn't, I'd be in freaking AAA major leagues right now. But my love for food and travel and cooking far surpassed baseball, and that's the reason why I quit.
All right. So you was done with that. So then you went. So you decided to get more into being a chef, and then you got into your relationship deeper. So then I guess it's the time you decided to propose to your now wife. Like, how'd you propose and where'd you propose at?
Well, going past the baseball season, we wound up hanging out a lot more. I wound up going into Cafe Monarch and started my fine dining career, and I started saving up some money and everything like that.
Yeah.
And then we had a little bit of a personal argument, and I realized that she's just someone I just couldn't lose, and I couldn't stand it. I just couldn't, like, it's weird, like, she's the only person that's ever met you, that's ever met my mom, that's ever met my grandmom, and I'm just like, this is the only person in my life where I'm just like, I can't, besides my family, like, I can't lose you. I will fight for it. I'll fight for it for however long. I just don't want to lose you. So like when I went to Grand, like her favorite place, or her dad's favorite place to go is Grand Canyon. Wind up painting her some Blue Jays and stuff like that. And I bought the engagement ring. It was from Jared, and got her measured up and everything. So she knew like something was coming, but she just didn't know when. I think she was like waiting for like Valentine's Day. Maybe I'll just do it like on a Valentine's Day. But I just did it on a random weekend. Went to Grand Canyon. Saw, it was weird. Like I heard, like on the way in, like I kind of felt like I felt a little weird. Like I felt weird like going up to the Grand Canyon. Saw down the Grand Canyon. I just kind of felt like a presence there, as corny as it sounds.
Right.
And then I went and we saw a Blue Jay, which is her dad's favorite bird to paint or draw for her. And then we just kept seeing weird shit. He's like, oh, look, that's a blue jay. Like, wow. And then she was like, wow, like that's my dad's favorite bird. And I was like, blue jay in Grand Canyon. I'm like, I'm not even sure that even exists, but today apparently it does. And just kept going, and I found like a really nice cliff. I was like, hey, let's go on this cliff, and went to the cliff's edge and wind up getting on down one knee and proposing. And she actually got mad at me because she was like, oh, there's horrible lighting. I'm like, that's her.
Yeah, that's her. Yeah,
horrible lighting. You didn't even get a chance to take a picture or set up anything.
God.
I'm like, yeah, that's my wife.
Oh, Lord.
That's her right there.
Oh, Lord.
It was funny though, and then ever since that, everything just sparked, and
so you went. So you proposed. You was getting ready to get married. You guys start traveling together.
Barcelona. I love Barcelona. That was our first trip together outside of country. Mm-hmm. Then we just went on this stint where we're just travel happy. Barcelona. Then we went to Jerome, Flagstaff. Weekend trips to San Diego, went to Cabo, Mexico, like just off of like a whim. Like within a month, we were in Cabo.
Start doing it all.
And then I got married in November. Went to Bali, Indonesia. That after our honeymoon, like literally a day after we got married. Following year, went to Italy, then went to Cape. Like we were just a travel bug. Like
how was your wedding day?
It was beautiful. I loved it. It was perfect. From the moment we got there, with some family bullshit and everything like that, but I think you guys did a good job separating that. But we did our vows. Well, we read up like a note to each other, and we stood back to back. I remember that, like we were on the side of the building and we stood back to back and we said our words to each other on our letter, and then she went up to the stairs. I wasn't allowed to look at her and everything like that. And then I stood up on the podium, introduced myself to everybody, and just waited. And I remember I got really emotional seeing her walk through the door. I saw her dad's picture on the front chair, and that was a really emotional part for me too. Her mom was there. It was picture perfect. Like it was just like the music was great, the photography was great, videography was great. Like my groomsmen were awesome, best man was awesome. Like I really like we went gambling later that day and I won some money too. So it was just all around great day.
Oh, that's
it was. I really couldn't have done it better. Food was good too.
I mean, there's a couple things I ain't like, but
it was decent. I think you got the wrong thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you would cooked, it probably been better. But anyway,
but it was, you know what? That's true. That is true.
So you're married now. You're traveling. You're doing your chef thing now, and then guess what happens when you guys go on your honeymoon, and then you find out that she is carrying Mr. Corbin Will Jenkins. Like, so you found out you're gonna be a father. You're like, damn.
That was tough.
She gonna be a mom. So how'd that feel?
No, I mean we were talking about it during Christmas, and it was a conversation that was had before we were married, and I wanted to wait like 4 or 5 years, and she was like, I don't want to be an old mom. I was like, okay, like I get it.
She's an old mom.
Yep.
Oh my God.
2 years later, we wind up discussing the same topic, and she got really emotional about it. And then I kind of surprised. Was like, okay, well, let's start planning soon. So I wind up planning and getting on the ovulation schedule and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then we went to Italy, and then just magic, have a baby, and within I think it was like the day we got back, she was like, I feel sick, like all that shit. I'm like, wow, like okay, whatever. Well, this is the symptoms. Let's check. And it was very faint, but we showed her mom, and we still have the video. It was like, wow, that's a positive. It was positive, and we were really super, super excited. The only thing is that we had to travel from Arizona all the way to fucking Cape Cod that day There was another trip we were actually going to go on in between there to Florida, which was weird. I was about to have to see Koa, but nah, that was a really really nice day. Even better was finding out the gender of the baby. Um, I wanted a girl, she wanted a boy,
Of course.
and she got her wish. She got a boy. She's been wanting to be a mom her whole life. So
So then he was born. Was he born in November? Shit,
November
4th.
4th.
Yeah, he was born
Our
actually
anniversary.
the day before, on your anniversary.
On the anniversary.
Yeah, so he was born on the day they got married. A year later.
Crazy.
Go figure that shit.
Crazy.
So when he was born, how was that moment for you? Like, you're a dad. You're a father.
It started before. It started before. Well, when we were in Cape Cod, it was a little bit of a fucking mess. But when I started like seeing her, her body was changing, her moods was changing, and everything. I'm like, wow, this is real. Then I started seeing him kick, and that's why he kicks a lot now because he's just a big kicker. Like, he's just a kicker. Loves tomato sauce, loves all that stuff. Like that's really awesome. But when we were getting down to the day, I still remember it too. I was on my way to. I hope so. It was only 7 months ago, but I was on my way to work, and she just got. I don't know what the fuck that thing is called. The
Ultrasound?
No, it's when they like kickstart the process and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, when they kickstart the process and stuff like that. And she was like, I can't do this anymore. He's getting too big, and he was way too big.
Yeah, big boy.
Kickstarted the process. She was just like, "Are you sure you want to go to work?" I'm like, "I got to," like, because I was a sous chef at this point, so I managed a team of 50 people, and I wind up going to work. And halfway through work, I got a phone call. It's like, "Hey, like my water broke." I'm like, "Wow, what the fuck? Like your water broke?" And I'm like, "Well," and I did a whole drift on the highway, went on the opposite way. I'm like, I got to go back, and then I called my boss and. He was really cool. Cody was really cool about it. Other people were not happy about it. Other people were just not happy about it. Just like, fuck it. I don't really give a shit. And then they wanted me to be back that next day. I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm doing that.
You're there for your kid.
And
how was that moment right there?
That was like the whole pregnancy process was scary for me because I was just like I heard horror stories of pregnancy. Then her blood pressure was all the way up to 200. Yeah. And I was just very scared for the whole thing. But she did really well. And I was proud. I was proud of her. She handled the pain really well, and she really got Corbin out really fast. And Corbin was immediately hungry afterwards. He was one of the only babies in the unit that actually kept fucking eating.
So when you held your son for the first time, how was that moment?
I don't know. I didn't really. It really didn't hit me that time. It didn't hit me in the moment. I was like more so shocked. I didn't really think about it in the moment. It really hit me when we had the first night together, when he was all like wrapped up in a swaddle and everything like that.
Yeah.
We put him in the manger. Shuji was sleeping because she just went through a traumatic process, and then I was the man up. And next thing, like I was looking down him in the manger. I'm like, damn, like. This is real. Yep. This is why I said out loud. I remember. I'm like, this is real. Like my life has changed. Like now from moving this forward, like this day forward, my life is forever changed. And yeah, I felt proud.
Well, young man, we're gonna wind this down. You have an amazing story. I know. Trust me, you can. My son can talk like 8 hours. He'll tell 1,000.
A lot of stories.
Yeah, it's a lot of stories. But we told like a lot of main parts, and I'm gonna give you the final say. But I want to ask you these 5 questions right quick. Make them short, son. Okay.
Yeah, I hope.
Yeah, make them short. Best advice you ever gotten?
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
That's it.
Okay. What's a luxury you cannot live without?
A luxury that I can't live without? My knives.
Was cooking. What era in history would you think you would best fit in?
Shit, not before the '60s. I would have been a slave.
Slavery in the 60s.
You know what? I would like to be in the '90s. That'd be really cool. That would be a cool, really cool era.
90s was good. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That'd be a really cool era.
Biggest risk you ever taken?
That's a loaded question. That's a hard question. Biggest risk I ever taken. Oh, doing Michelin level dining for the first time, being fresh out of baseball and not knowing anything about restaurant experience. That was the biggest risk I ever taken, and that was easily the scariest moment of my life. And I sucked for a really long time, but it paid off.
Last one. Something you wish you was better at.
I get a grasp of things pretty quick. Um, Something I wish I was better at is being consistent. I really wish I was. I really wish I was more consistent with learning languages, and more consistent at like just overall, just like keep it like I've gotten a lot better because I used to be a lot like worse with consistency, and because it affected every part of my life. Um, yeah, I wish I was a lot better at consistency.
Yeah, me too. About especially buying your father a Christmas gift or a birthday gift. That'd be even better.
I'm not a gift giver.
Yeah, no shit. Brandon, we're gonna give you the last word. You've already told your baseball journey. Now I want you to give your last. Tell me and describe, not too like not no 20, 50 minutes long. Your love for food and being a chef and cooking. What's that like for you? That love for you. What's that to you? What's that mean to you? What is that about?
I just love the fire. I love the fire. I love the flames. I love the hustle. I just love that you can you can be horrible. Like there's talented chefs out there for sure, but if you just truly taste everything that this world has to offer, you can become a good chef. Like I love the one thing I love about food is culture. Culture connects people. No, I love culture. Food connects people, and food brings people all together. Whether you're from different cultures, different ethnicities, different religions, all that stuff. Like food connects people. Like when you're in Indian culture and they're eating naan bread or what the fuck is that one thing called? I'm not sure. I'm just gonna say naan for now. They're eating naan with, let's say, some type of curry, and they're eating with one of their hands, and they have like a little like communal a washing sink in the middle. Doesn't matter if you're rich, poor, fat, little, small, big, whatever. Like it's all communal. That's what I love about food, and that's what I strive to be as a chef. To learn as much as I can for as long as I'm alive. And money really isn't a thing to me in terms of learning about something. If I'm like serious about learning something, I'll make it work. Like I'll get a payment plan on it. I'll make it work. Like if I can't source it from a restaurant, I'll learn how to make it. If I can't learn how to make it, I'll learn from somebody on on how to execute it, or go to a restaurant that makes it. Like
I love that answer.
yeah, I'm a big fan of food. I'm not just a foodie or like I don't consider a food expert foodie. Like it's just a lifestyle.
There it is, son. I appreciate you coming on. This has been something I've been looking forward to for a long ass time. To get your story, get your take of it. I know there's a lot more to this and that because God knows we know. Because my son can talk a lot. He got tons of it. But I think we covered like the basics of it. Probably some stuff we left out. But I appreciate you coming on. And I didn't know half the stuff that you went through. And I'm glad you talked about it. And I want to say that I wish I would have done a better job of not pushing him so hard with baseball. I wish I would have let him be more independent when he was younger. That was my fault, and I apologize for that. I wish I would did a better job with that. I thought at the time I wanted what was best for you because I know you had talent, and I want you to get to college and be a man and go do your own thing, But you know what? But you're doing well now. You had the experience that a lot of kids have not have gotten. You have a beautiful, beautiful family. I can never be more proud as a father that that he's a father now, that you're a father now. You're married now. You're a grown man now, and I can never be more prouder to be your father on Father's Day as we record this on Father's Day. Mm-hmm. So thank you, son, for coming on. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. I will see you next week on Let's Talk About It.
All right.
Peace.
Later.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching the show. Please subscribe, click on the bio, support the show. Thank you so much again. We'll see you next week for another amazing episode on Let's Talk About It.